Rachel Castille. Today I want to talk to you about uncovering your vision. It's so important what God put in your heart that you live in it, that you know the value of what you carry, the gifts that God has given you. And it's very easy whenever people are speaking against you and the people that you value the most, they don't see you correctly, they don't encourage you. It's very easy to get caught up in the opinions of other people and to feel like you've got to move at the pace of others. You have to be understood in order to embody your vision. And the reality is, no, you need to believe in yourself. And when you truly believe, you don't need someone else to believe. You don't need people to understand who you are. You need to be able to know the power of your gift and know who you're sent to help. That is my heart in business and helping people know how to enter into God's will. And God's will is that your gifts would be delivered to the world, and that you be aware of that value. But sometimes you have to heal from the words that's been spoken over you. Some people, it could have been your pastor, it could have been your dad, it could have been your mom, who didn't believe in you, who made your life harder, who made you feel like you had to prove yourself your whole life. And I had a pretty traumatic experience whenever I was 18, 19, I shared my vision with my pastor of the things that God was showing me. And I grew up in an extremely conservative apostolic Pentecostal church where we believed we were the only ones who were saved. Very sincere, but really felt fearful of the rest of the world. Felt like almost like other Christians would convert us away from the beliefs that, that was so instilled in us. So I was on a path of business and I was drawn to the network marketing space, and I knew I had all this trauma that I was carrying. I had sexual abuse when I was a child in my family, and I come to a point in high school that I was really hungry for business and freedom in my own life. And I came across this millionaire lady who's a coach in the internet, network marketing, and then on to just all of business sort of space. And going to her events, it started to stir up vision in me. I began to really hear the voice of God outside of what I grew up in. And this worried my parents. This worried my pastor and the whole community that I was in. But I was having so much vision. And I began to just write the vision out. I saw online business communities. I saw me healing the sick, helping people get free from their trauma, helping people grow their income online. And I wrote this out now 11 years ago. And I shared this with my dad. I shared it with my pastor. And the next service I came to church, and my pastor was in my office now, like this. Having had my vision, I wrote it out. I gave him this 14-page paper, and he really was not happy with that I was merging a lot of stuff outside of the apostolic Pentecostal church and was just seeing vision for us as a community, vision for my own life, for business. And he was just this is unrealistic. This is not apostolic. This is not you're headed down the wrong path. And upon hearing that, that really just shook me in a way that I realized okay, I've been given almost an ultimatum that I have to look at, wow, why is it that the people I value most, they don't see the vision? And now for me to go after the vision, I'm now opposing them. Now it's something as though I'm now against God for listening to God. It's that belief system of how we think our doctrine is correct and everything else is wrong. And this really sent me on a path for the next year of looking in scripture, of finding different people on YouTube that began to actually dismantle some of my childhood beliefs. For me to see that the Spirit of God is everywhere. The Spirit of God is in people in all different groups. And I ventured out, and it was really scary. And the thing is, it took me 10 years to get back on the path of the very thing that got kind of crushed in me. I feel like I began to clutch my pearls and guard the vision and not really be able to share my heart freely with people. It's like I've been yoked to what people think about me, that I almost feel like I have to convince them to see it. And if they don't, then I'm like, I need to pull away from them. And like, it's like this thing as though someone could steal my vision from me, sort of thing. And this is what trauma can do. This is the things that begins to make the heart closed, guarded, rigid, afraid of vulnerability. It's almost like vulnerability didn't go well the first time I tried, right? And this thing in my heart, it took a long time to surrender. And something God was showing me recently, that the very things that I was bothered by in my dad, in the religion that I grew up, that was very like fearful of others, very like, hey, we have the truth, and if we lose everyone, it's okay as long as we've got the truth sort of mindset that kind of is isolating. I began to live that way, and I realized your vision can't have any influence, or it can't be birthed in the world if it's guarded and protected in a way that's like it puts faith in other people's ability to be able to affect me. So I've given my power away to other people, and that's something that I'm reclaiming in this season, and realizing that it is my responsibility to believe in my own vision. It's my responsibility to own my story. It's not really my dad's, my mom's, old pastor or friends that I had in a past season to get me. And the thing I didn't realize, though I was a person who wrote out a vision like 12 years ago, I so saw what I was called to do and wasn't able to walk in it for that long. And I didn't realize like I'm supposed to birth that apart from everyone, apart from needing validation, needing affirmation around it. And coming to this point in my life, I'm now 30 years old. That happened when I was like 19. And I just want to encourage you guys that you have to own your own story. You have to put it out there. You have to love yourself enough to give voice to what's inside of you. You have to be able to let everything else just be, as you begin to be a builder, to be a pioneer, to be one that is birthing something, one that's building a movement, you have to carry it yourself. You have to believe in it. And the thing that I saw is, though I had such belief, I also had a lot of doubt. And I didn't see that doubt until I hired a business coach. And I even hired her over a whole quarterly program, and just like a few months into it, I'm just now really letting her speak into areas that I didn't think I even struggled with. And she got to really show me like the doubt that's coming up when I speak around what I'm doing, and that stuff isn't even my own doubt. I'm carrying the doubt and the unbelief of other people that I was hurt by, and I wanted their support. I wanted them to understand me. I wanted them to be there and advocate for what I'm doing. And that if you guard your heart because of particular people, you're not actually showing up for those that are open. So you can't be attached to those that are closed. You have to let compassion bring you before who God has really called you to speak to add value to. And our gifts were never meant to be forced down anyone's throat. And the reality is people can absolutely say no to you. They can be like, they can oppose you. They can almost be like the crab in the bucket trying to pull you down. And if you let that be harbored in your heart, if you can't forgive, if you can't love them where they are and leave them where they are and check in on them as God leads you, but that you don't move at the pace of their rejection or them not being able to see you properly, like literally you have to be able to let that stuff go, because like that has stifled me. It's made my journey so much harder than it really needs to be. And if you fear certain people judging you, they're just not your people. That's the reality, that you have to be able to tell your truth. You have to be able to live out your story. You have to be able to pour that out to other people that you've, out of all the things that you've learned that God has taught you, there's people who are really like hungry for it. But if you're hung up on what is this person going to think? What is this person, they didn't support me. They didn't understand. And that pain can cause like what you radiate to be that. You're like trying to walk in your vision, walk in your purpose, and you're just radiating the rejection of your parents. You're radiating that lack of support. And that's something that I had to come to a place in my life, like literally right now, to begin to recognize that I've been stifling, holding back my own story, my own journey because of what people might think about it, and that's bondage. That's bondage and doubt. And the sooner you realize that you're the one who's called to birth what you carry, the ideas, the creativity, the things that's coming up in you, it's yours. It's not your parents. You're the breaker. You're the anointed one. You're the one who sees beyond what's been going on. You're the one who carries that greater, it could be a love. If you felt that you didn't have that, well, the fact that you can discern it, that means that you can really begin to walk in that. You can exhibit that. You can become that thing that you saw that your parents weren't able to give to you. And that right there is your ministry. That right there is what you're able to give in your business, in all that you do. And that's that uniqueness that gets put into your gifts, into your products, into your services. So yeah, pick your vision up again. I spoke about this whenever I was younger. I wrote about I'm going to travel the world, and I live in Nairobi, Kenya now. I'm from the Houston, Texas area. If you know Beaumont, Texas, hey, shout out to Beaumont and Orange. But yeah, so don't ever let anybody limit your vision. Don't wait for people to understand it. There's a reason you're feeling called to go where you're drawn to. There's people there that need you. There's things that you're going to heal from and grow in and just evolve as a person. Not everybody wants to live out their destiny. Not everybody wants the fullness of God's will. And I think the thing that we suffer from is we see ourselves as smaller than we are. We see ourselves as like just trying to make it by, trying to make it to heaven, trying to just pay the bills. And really, we have so much value inside of us that the world needs. And we have there's no greater time to live, but a time when we can go live, we can be on social media, we can build online businesses, we can change our lives. And that's what God has called me to do and to help other people do. If you want more information about what I'm doing, go to my website, rachelcastille.com, spelled just like my name. And on there is a lot of information that's going to bless you. I'm in the network marketing space. I offer online businesses for people to get started. There's a link at the top that says start here. It's got a 5-minute video that tells you about what I'm doing. As well, I am an Enneagram coach. I help people understand their personality types, their emotional patterns, what health looks like for them, what their spiritual gifts are. If you've ever heard about introversion, extroversion, Myers-Briggs, all of that, I type people in that as well. So all of my links is on rachelcastille.com. So go over there. Feel free to add me on Facebook. I've also got an online fellowship on Discord that is on there. It's called RC Fellowship. So it's a free community to fellowship with other people who are just living life and wanting to know God, wanting to find their path and their identity and purpose. So definitely reach out to me. I'd love to connect with you. And yeah, if you haven't been here before, go ahead and follow me here on TikTok. Get plugged in. I'm here to encourage you, to help you come into a greater awareness of your purpose, your gifts, who God created you to be, and to get that mess off your back. Get the stuff from your past off of you, words that other people have spoken over you. You are meant to live free. You're meant to have abundant life. And, whenever you're carrying all those things, it totally just limits your perspective of your value, of what is possible for you, what your influence can be. And you need to know that you're really powerful. Literally, that's the thing that gets snuffed out in children. Why is it that as an adult, we can look at children and we see oh my gosh, look at this innate value. Oh my gosh. And we are all those same people. We grew up and we got trauma. We have coping strategies. We have things that we did to manage and to survive things that we went through. And now it's time for us to heal. Now it's time for us to pick up our destiny again and begin to birth what's in our heart, because God created us to be a solution in the world. We all said yes to come here because we knew we carried something that would shift things. And that's what I want to help you come back into the awareness of, is that your gifts are made to shift the world, and you can get on that path today. So reach out to me, go to my website, Rachel Castille, to plug into my content. Look at the business opportunities that I have. I have a community called Firestarters to help you discern your gift in business and to begin to market and network and expand your brand. So that is my passion. That's what I love to do. So yeah, guys, thanks for listening. This is my first time going live on here, so I'm looking how do I even end the live? I'm going to figure that out here in a little bit. So, Yeah, I think I found it.